Let's start off with a big raise. You just raised $150 million in your 776 fund. The big question is what you're trend spotting right now. Where are you going to put this money to work?
Well, I've been really fortunate, even in just the last, say 6 to 9 months, while we were still really building the firm out, building the team. Great founders sought us out, and we've already been deploying capital in some great companies and pretty sector agnostic. At the end of the day, my best investments have always come from great founders who have told me what the future is going to be. It usually doesn't come from investors. So we're looking to back great founders, solving big problems in large markets, and basically any kind of startup goes.
Well, on that note, a key detail that stood out to me is the makeup of your LPs, 50% women, 15% Black or Indigenous investors. Do you see yourself as part of a new wave of VCs that's going to be doing things differently?
I think so. We're really just responding to what the very best founders are asking about more and more. They want to know who we're making money for. They want to know exactly what investors are going to be able to do for them. That's why we've built software into the way that we run the firm. That's why we thought about who our LP base would be. And, at the end of the day, we serve a community of founders. We serve a community that is our team. We also serve a community of LPs, of investors. And we feel like in order to be our best, we should have a community that's reflective of our country. And in that lens, it seems like a sort of obvious thing to do. And we're excited that, we did the work to make sure we got to those numbers, and think it'll pay off.
So you say you're still really motivated by building products. And I'm curious, I know it's sector agnostic, but what drives you right now? What are the sectors? What are the kinds of companies that you're really passionate about?
Well, I think we have reached a turning point with Web3. So blockchain technology, we can talk at length about things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and cryptocurrency speculation is one thing. I've been really fortunate. Gary and I were among the earliest investors in Coinbase about 10 years ago. And so had a front row seat to this. And even seeing now, we're in the earliest days of it, but the real adoption of crypto into the mainstream is where I'm investing. So whether it's infrastructure companies like QuickNode that are allowing these Web3 projects to get started, or Lolly, which is a simple way, kind of like Honey for Bitcoin, to shop online and get rewards in Bitcoin, it becomes this on-ramp to bring even more people into this technology. And I think we're just in the earliest days now of people building really impressive tech on top of it. And I think that's one area where we're going to continue to see lots of opportunities.
We just had the founder of Lolly on the show from the big Bitcoin conference.
Oh, yeah, from the conference in Miami.
Exactly, from the big conference in Miami. And I'm curious, there has obviously been a ton of volatility. There's talk of harsher regulation because of the tie between crypto and these ransomware attacks. Does that concern you?
I think at the end of the day, we have to take a global perspective. As a country, the United States needs to be a leader, especially in something as important as digital currency. And as you're seeing more and more countries actually adopting Bitcoin as tender, as you see more and more momentum towards what is ultimately a better user experience, right? At the end of the day, when you realize, for instance, how much money it costs just to send a wire, it's pretty preposterous, right? You're just moving ones and zeros. So I think we all should be leaning into the fact that as a technology, the improved user interface, the improved sort of user experience that crypto allows is better. And so I'd like to see the way that we approach this as being a way that we can capture basically more of the upside of the innovation that's going to be built on crypto and on blockchain technology, as opposed to smothering it, because it is not going away, and the momentum is only going to continue. And I want us to win. I want the US to win.
So look, I've had crypto founders on the show who say Bitcoin is going to the moon, that if you own one, you will be a millionaire. Where are you on the speculation spectrum?
Well, I've never been a Bitcoin maximalist. I do think I currently hold some Bitcoin. I hold quite a bit of Ethereum or of ETH, let's say, by comparison. I think there are some emerging technologies and currencies and protocols that are worth looking at. But look, I don't want to be giving financial advice here. At the end of the day, do your research. The reality, though, is this technology has crossed a there's a tipping point now that's happened where enough people have bought in that it's not going away. And so now even something like Bitcoin, I think, is always going to be here as some kind of a store of value, digital gold, you often hear it referred to. And I'm more interested in sort of what are the technological applications that are going to be built on top of the blockchain, maybe involving Bitcoin, but maybe not, but that are going to improve user experiences. That's where the really, I think, the biggest and most enduring wins are going to happen.
We're seeing meme stocks extending their gains. We're seeing new meme stocks being added to the list of meme stocks. GameStop just had a big new announcement with a new leadership team, new CEO, new CFO. We've spoken to analysts who think, this company is not worth anything close to where it's trading right now, no matter how many Amazon executives you add at the top. What do you think about GameStop's potential?
Okay, full disclosure, I have shares. I've held shares for a minute now. I spend my time, in the private markets. I spend my time thinking a lot about the sort of underlying technology and the sort of potential of companies. I think in that regard, you have a brand that is well known. You have an executive team that you're seeing is getting increasingly more professionalized with, like you said, ex-Amazon folks. And I just generally feel like the energy around it, I know people are very dismissive of even the phrase meme stocks, but momentum investing is nothing new. And in a lot of ways, the story we're seeing play out ever since January, it's going to continue. It's only going to become more normal, frankly, as more and more people get access to investing, as more and more people spend more of their time online socializing and sharing ideas. This is a new normal. And, there is a dogged community of supporters who love the stock. And I think with that base and with the fact that, gaming is still a pretty small, I think, relative to its potential size in the industry, I think there's a lot to like there. But look, the part that I hope folks take away from this is part of just a much bigger trend where capital is going to be deployed in ways that look very different to the ways that like my dad and certainly my granddad did it, because community is a big part of it. So whether it's investing in trading cards or investing in stocks or investing in cryptocurrencies, the portfolio of our generation, and especially Gen Z digital natives, is going to look very, very, very different.
Now, you've also made some key investments in plant-based meat alternatives, a company called Nugs. There are some reports that it tastes like a shoe or that it tastes like a meme. And I'm curious what your response is to that, given that taste does matter in the end.
Have you tried them, Emily? They're amazing.
I haven't tried them, and I will admit that I need to. Though the report kind of deterred me, so maybe give me the hard sell.
We'll try you some. I'm particularly fond of the spicy variety. I keep some in my freezer on the regular. I think what Ben and the team have done at Simulate, which is the parent company that makes Nugs, that's been so remarkable is, in relatively short order, they've taken something, frozen plant-based chicken nuggets, which you wouldn't expect to be able to sell direct to consumers, and actually built an amazing business doing that. And in so doing, because people love the product and people love talking about the product, they've had great success at retail, launching places like Walmart, Target, where for the first time, I think ever, people are willing to go into a store and a frozen food section and take a selfie with an item off the shelf. Like, that doesn't exist. No one was running into a store to grab some like frozen fish sticks and take a photo, right? But when you can create a brand that's truly digital native and make something that people love, like, this happens. And the business has grown tremendously in a relatively short order. And, I was fortunate to be also an early investor in a company called Eclipse doing plant-based ice cream, and then also Impossible a little while ago. And so I've got a nice little repertoire now of plant-based startups that I'm pretty excited about. And I think this one solves a very big need right now for a lot of consumers. And I hope you'll try some. Just like I said, especially the spicy ones.
I promise you I will pick up a box and I will go for the spicy ones first.
And then do it on IG Live. You can do it in real time. I'm telling you, though, you're going to like them.
All right, Alexis Ohanion, always good to have you here on the show. Thanks so much for joining us.